Macmillan Audio presents Sanctum of the Soul by Kel Kade. Read by Nick Podell. Prologue. I looked at the entranced faces of everyone gathered in the community house as I considered that it might be time to turn in for the night. Just then, Alina entered bearing a tray filled with steaming mugs, which she carefully passed out to the children. I smiled as I watched them blow across the hot milk tea with eager smiles and entirely too much energy. It was obvious they would not be sleeping any time soon. Beside me, little Corin shifted, and his brother, Maiden, reached out and steadied the mug before it could spill over the boy. I met Maiden's gaze and thanked him. Maiden opened his mouth, but his words were delayed as he summoned the energy to speak. Finally, he said, "Thanks not needed. He's my brother." I blinked back tears as I remembered Maiden as a joyful child, full of mischief and eager for adventure. He had barely come of age when he ran away to join the army, much to his father's dismay. Although it had been nearly 150 years since the Grave War ended, the world was far from safe. With the Baru came death and destruction, and all semblance of organized society in Endrika had ceased to exist for a time. When Maiden returned from his service, he was not the spirited youth he had once been. In fact, he had little spirit at all. His only job now was to safeguard Corin and our small community as best he could. Alina turned toward me with a cheeky grin.
"Veda, will you finish this story?"
"Yes," said Corin. "Tell us what Aaslo did with the souls of the depraved."
This last he said in a spooky voice as a shiver ran through him. Hearing of the depraved always spooked the children a little, as it should. The depraved were a force even the gods would not have unleashed. Aaslo was not a god. He was merely a forester, and he did what needed to be done. I waited until I had all the children's attention again. Aaslo didn't do anything with the souls of the depraved, at least not at that time. In fact, he was so disturbed by the power wielded against the smoke dragon by the single depraved he had placed in the body of the dead magus that he refused to keep the rest. He gave them back to the Reaper.
"But why would he do that?"
said Jenny as she tossed her long braid behind her.
"The depraved were important."
"Yes, they were," I replied. "But Aaslo didn't know what to do with them at the time, and he wasn't sure he could control them. Instead, Aaslo focused on other matters that were just as important. He set about gathering as many people to his cause as he could find. He traveled through the paths all across Endrika, recruiting anywhere he could."
"But he was a monster,"
said Jenny.
"Weren't people scared of him?"
"Yes, they were," I replied. "And many people ran from him or even attacked him. But that's why he took Teza and the Marquess with him. Andalus Sephariah, the Marquess of Dovermeyer, had a natural way with people that put them at ease, and he was used to being in a position of authority. Teza was one of only 2 magi who had stayed behind when the other magi left the realm. People were encouraged by having a magus in their presence when so many terrible things were happening in the world. You must remember, these people were frightened. Every day they might be attacked by roving Liksvite.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?